Welcome to episode 8 of my podcast and YouTube. And can you build a home gym? Yes, you can, but you have to consider progressions, meaning you got to build it because you're going to get stronger and better. This is what I mean. Enjoy my episode.
So what if all you had was a super limited budget? Let's say $500 to $1,000, because it all depends on usually the weight that you're going to buy. This is what I would do for a must-haves if all you have is $500 to $1,000. I would have an inclined flat bench, a bench that can go both ways. Absolutely. You've got to be able to have different avenues to be able to train your muscles from different angles. Really, really important. I would have 2 to 3 sets of dumbbells for sure. Again, find your place. What are you using them for, and what can you manage for weight? I would have tubing, really important. You can have tubing, there's all sorts of different ones. You can have stuff that loop around, you can have the circular ones, but tubing is really great because it's very versatile, it's really light, doesn't take up any space, and you can do a lot of in-between stuff, a lot of stretching, and a lot of compound movements with tubing. Med ball, again, if you just have one, get anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds. And a med ball is probably similar to a kettlebell. You can have one or the other. You could buy both, but you're going to double up on price here. So consider what you want to do with it. Do you want a kettlebell to do specific kettlebell moves, or do you want a med ball? I personally would do a med ball because a kettlebell, in order to hold on to it, if you want to use it for ab work or any other kind of work other than kettlebell work, it's clumsy because of the big handle. Now, if you're kettlebelling, it's perfect. But I find a med ball way more flexible. It's also bouncy. I can do wall squats. I can do ground work. I can do all sorts of things. So a med ball. Mat, of course, you need a mat. You need a good mat. Skipping rope, oh my gosh, it's just the best thing ever. Throw out your cardio machine and do some skipping, seriously. And again, you can take it with you. It's versatile. It's like this big as opposed to this big, a cardio machine. And then barbells. I would recommend a barbell, and you're going to need different sets of plates. I would recommend a couple of 5s and probably 4 10s, because you're going to be able to add on weight and you're probably going to run out of plates. So this is bare bones, guys. If you're really looking to keep it minimal, then this is probably the list that I would offer clients if they're wanting to do an in-home gym on a minimal budget. Now, if you're trying to get a good leg workout, you might want to consider a couple of heavy dumbbells. Heavy is anywhere from 25 to 40 pounds. I know that sounds like a lot, but in order to get a good squat in, or a good Bulgarian, or a good stiff leg deadlift, you're going to need more weight than a 15 or 20 pound dumbbell pair. So consider buying one heavier pair of dumbbells if you're trying to get a leg workout at home. That is probably the place that is challenged the most in a home gym. The leg equipment is usually big and expensive, and most people don't want to go that route. If you don't, then make sure you got a good heavy dumbbell in order to be able to get enough intensity on the big leg muscles and glute muscles, because you're just not going to be able to do it with body weight alone. The other thing is, when you're in the store and you're not sure what weight to use, you can go to a gym and you can play with some weights and see, but in the store I would grab dumbbells and I would practice doing some of the moves that you're going to do with dumbbells and seeing where it's going to fit. Do the same with a med ball. What are you doing with a med ball? Feel it out. So go in and trial these with your own body, because that is really the only way you're going to know what you need, rather than looking at a YouTube video or asking somebody or going into a magazine, because they're not going to know your body. It's what your body needs, and where you're starting at, you'll probably find you're going to need to grow in intensity and add more weight after that to keep moving in a progressive manner. That's why we're doing this kind of training, so that our bodies will top out and get used to it. So we always have to add in more stimulus. So consider that too. How are you going to add in more stimulus? So keep that in mind. When it comes to dumbbells, you may very well be able to trade them in. As you get stronger, trade in the lower ones and get bigger dumbbells. With med balls or kettlebells, you could tuck them aside. They don't take up a lot of room, or you can sell them and get fresh ones too. So always consider where you're going, because where you are is not where you're going to be forever. And what I know with women who train at home, if there's not a progressive weight built into it, whether it be cables or plates or whatever it happens to be, or you don't have a variety of dumbbells or barbells or plates, they get stunted in their physique growth, because they're just staying with the same weight. And everything we do is progressive training, because our body will get used to the stimulus, and we have to keep changing it or adding more in order for our body to continue to progress. So I hope that helps. Ciao.